3, 2, 1, engines full power, and liftoff. Going to space is expensive. You probably don't need me to tell you that. But behind every launch is an incredible process most people never see. A journey across America involving thousands of hours of work and some of the most advanced science and engineering in the world. And no rocket proves this more than SpaceX's Falcon 9. It launches almost every other day, carrying satellites, supplies, and astronauts into orbit. But where does all that money actually go? Let's break it down. First, you need to build a rocket. An orbital rocket like Falcon 9 has three main parts: the booster, the upper stage, and the payload fairing. The booster is the most expensive, about 60 to 70% of the total cost. If SpaceX builds a new booster, it takes 9 Merlin engines, roughly $1 million each. Its body is made from special aluminum lithium alloy, and it has 4 giant carbon fiber legs that cost up to $100,000 apiece, plus titanium grid fins that cost a few $100,000 for the set. Even the paint costs a lot at this scale. The result? A new Falcon 9 booster runs $30 to $40 million. The upper stage is smaller, with one engine and a shorter body, costing about $10 to $12 million per launch. Then there are the payload fairings, to giant clamshells made of carbon fiber, aluminum honeycomb, and even cork for insulation. They cost $6 million a pair, but they're reusable. Add it all up, and a brand new Falcon 9 comes to $50 to $60 million. But every rocket SpaceX builds starts its life in Hawthorne, California, and most launches happen in Florida. That's 2,700 miles away. Luckily, Falcon 9 was designed to fit on trucks. The booster, about 140 feet long, rides on a special trailer. The upper stage is smaller, about 40 feet. Each fairing half is 43 feet by 17 feet wide. Getting a full Falcon 9 convoy cross-country costs about $150,000, which, compared to building it, is cheap, like 1/10 the cost of just a single Merlin engine. This is why SpaceX reuses boosters. The most common recovery is on drone ships at sea. Once back in port, robots and cranes move the booster into Hangar AO at Cape Canaveral. A recovery costs only about $10,000 to $20,000, basically the price of a used Honda Civic. Inside the hangar, engines are checked for cracks, soot, and turbine wear using tiny cameras. Heat shields are patched. Legs and fins are inspected. Tanks are cleaned. Damaged engines can be swapped out. Then the whole booster is pressure washed, reassembled, and fired up again for testing. Refurbishment costs anywhere from $250,000 to $2 million, but that's still 10 times cheaper than building a new booster. Once ready, the 2 stages and the payload are joined together at the launchpad's integration facility. The rocket is built horizontally on a stand. The second stage and payload are bolted on, avionics tested, and once complete, the whole vehicle is rolled out and lifted vertical on the pad. That process takes 1 to 3 weeks and costs about $1 million. Next, propellant. Falcon 9's fuel is P1 kerosene and liquid oxygen. Together, they add up to 500 metric tons, or the weight of 10 blue whales. Our P1 costs about $1.50 per liter and comes from refineries like Exxon or Chevron. LOX is cheaper, about 25 cents a liter, made by freezing air down to minus 195 Celsius. Our P1 comes from Texas, LOX from nearby plants in Florida. Delivered by tanker trucks, fueling costs about $350,000 per launch. But fuel isn't the only liquid needed. Each launch also requires 400,000 gallons of water for the deluge system, which prevents the rocket exhaust from damaging itself, the pad, and everything around it. That water is pumped from a giant tower built during the Apollo era, and it's surprisingly cheap, only about $1,000 per launch. So, let's add up the launch bill. A Falcon 9 with a reused booster averages $21.5 million for rocket hardware. Add $150,000 for transport, $1 million for integration, $350,000 for fuel, about $4,500 for water and electricity, $250,000 for licenses, $2 million in staffing, $125,000 for launchpad maintenance, and another $3.5 million for overhead and R&D. The grand total, $28.9 million. That's almost exactly what SpaceX officials said back in 2020. In 2020, they flew 26 times. In 2024, 132 launches. By increasing frequency and reusability, they've held the cost steady despite inflation. Now, how much do customers pay? A dedicated Falcon 9 launch costs between $70 and $75 million. With SpaceX spending about $29 million, that's around $40 million profit per flight. Rideshare missions are even better. Small payloads cost $6,500 per kilogram, and a full rocket of rideshares can bring in $80 million, a 74% profit margin. Crew missions cost NASA about $150 million per flight, far cheaper than the old space shuttle at $1.5 billion or the Russian Soyuz at $86 million per seat. SpaceX's reusable Falcon 9 has fundamentally changed space travel. It isn't cheap, but it's cheaper than anything before it. And with Starship around the corner, the cost of reaching orbit might soon drop again, rewriting the future of space all over.